Madam Speaker, I stand in strong support of the House Transportation Committee's investigation into California's so-called high-speed rail project. Now, this project has truly been a disappointment of historic proportions. It's now tripled in cost to $128 billion, with little more to show for it after 15 years than one bridge to nowhere that was recently unveiled. The House Transportation Committee, in addition to its Senate counterpart, is demanding documents on the Biden administration's decision to allocate substantial federal taxpayer dollars on this highly questionable endeavor, when there is no reasonable path forward for successful completion. In fact, a New York Times expose found the train is not even on track to be completed this century. And a lead operator several years ago abandoned the project to build in North Africa, where it was, quote, less politically dysfunctional than California. That operator, by the way, brought a high-speed train online in Morocco in 2018. So the letter from Chairman Graves and Senator Cruz goes into some detail about the problems that have beleaguered the California High-Speed Rail Authority. It says, despite California's reputation as a high-tax state, the high-speed rail project far exceeds the state's ability to finance the project, and it is now seeking substantial federal subsidies. In March 2023, the High-Speed Rail Authority peer review group, whose job is to evaluate the funding plan, sounded the alarm. It reported on an astounding unfunded gap of $92.6 billion to $103.1 billion between estimated costs and known state and federal funding for the full San Francisco to San Diego system. So the letter is requesting documents from the Department of Transportation concerning its decision to award $3 billion more to this project and to keep it on life support, which is a concern to California taxpayers, not only because these federal funds are partially theirs, our taxes, but also because it is continuing to keep the project going so that more and more of our state tax dollars will have to go to it as well. So among the requests that are being made of the Department of Transportation is information concerning the department's evaluation of the issues facing California High-Speed Rail Authority, including but not limited to the level of risk associated with the unbid, technically challenging elements of the project, including tunnels and viaduct, the low ridership projected for the Merced to Bakersfield segment, the remaining gap in funds needed for completion of the Merced to Bakersfield segment, even after the recent awards of more than $3 billion, the lack of an independent review of the economic and financial justification for the project, as noted by the peer review group, and the large gap in funds needed for completion of at least the Phase 1 segment from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and DOT's plans to address the issues raised by the High-Speed Rail Authority Inspector General and peer review group prior to obligating funds to the High-Speed Rail Authority. And so, Madam Speaker, I have been calling for this project to end for years. It's not even clear that if and when it is ever built, it will be anything close to state-of-the-art technology. And for Californians to have to continue to pay billions and billions and $billion more for this project when our roads continue to deteriorate and to be the worst, among the worst in the country, despite us paying the highest taxes when it comes to gas, it is absolutely unacceptable, and I am hoping that this investigation, which I will look forward to being part of as a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, will play a role in finally bringing the project to an end.